Hello, everyone, and welcome to D2C Dialogues. Today, we have with us Sifat Khurana, co-founder at Innovist. What is Innovist? If you look at their LinkedIn profile, it goes like this: clean, transparent science. Innovist is synonymous to all things clean, transparent, and scientific. A one-stop shop for products with proven efficiency. Efficacy. When one shops at Innovist, they invest in genuinity. We are proud to own the entire process of research and development, manufacturing, and clinical trials, which equip us to serve every customer with certified, safe, and high quality products across categories. The triangle Innovist symbolizes perfectness, unity, and importance. It is marked as the strongest unit that balances all the aspects of idealism. At Innovist, we believe science and art to deliver our promise: clean, transparent science. Welcome to D2C Dialogues, Sifat.
Thank you so much. Very happy to be here.
Sifat, can you walk us through that pivotal moment, when you and your co-founders decided to create Innovist?
Sure. So there's a little bit of backstory to Innovist. As you know, Innovist is a parent company to four sister concerns. We have four brands under Innovist. There's Bare Anatomy, Chemist at Play, Sunscoop, and Nudge Wellness. All these four brands are unique in terms of their offerings, and they all tie down with the same DNA of their parent company, which is Innovist. However, surprisingly, Innovist came in after we launched Bare Anatomy. Bare Anatomy was the first brand that was incubated by us back in 2018. 2018 is when we started creating the foundation, but we only launched to the audience in 2019. So while we were launching Bare Anatomy also, our single point focus or agenda was to bring something to the market which was not existent. By that, I mean that I'll tell you a small story. Vimal, Rohit, and I were sitting in a room discussing that what's the next step? What do we want to do? What do we want to launch? We were very sure that it has to be in the personal care segment. And while having that discussion, we came across this one product where I said, oh, you know what? I rate this product a 7 on 10. And Rohit's like, no, this is a 10 on 10 for me. It's amazing. And Vimal said that I think for me, it's a 3 on 10. I'm not very happy about it. So when we saw that there's so much difference in the likability of a certain product, and we're three people who understand formulations, we understand the nitty-gritties of the personal care industry because we've been associated with it for so long. We figured out that there is a lot of gap in the magnitude of likability for a single product. And we realized that, a product is actually not something that is sitting at the center of the table. And all the customers are, told that, okay, these are categories, pick whatever suits you. We figured that we wanted to make the customer sit at the center of the table and make a product revolve around the customer to actually be exactly matching to the requirement that that person may have. And not do the other way around, that the product is in the middle and we tell people that, okay, make your adjustments and just pick up what you like. That's when we started with customizing personal care and actually getting the personal a little more personalized in the personal care segment. There were a lot of these. You go to a tailor, they'll make a coat for you which is exactly to your fit. Why can't we do that in personal care, given that personal care is the most personal thing to a customer? And we realized that we need to bring that personalization angle. And that's when we launched Bare Anatomy with the logic of being completely bare, that is transparent, and serving the anatomy of every individual, which is extremely singular when it comes to every individual person. And that's how Bare Anatomy was given birth with the idea of being transparent science. And then everything kind of followed. Chemist at Play followed, Sunscoop followed, and we realized that we need to tie this down under one company. And all of that happened to come under Innovist, which holds the DNA of clean, transparent science.
So, in a nutshell, if you can explain to our viewers, what is your product portfolio?
Sure. So, Innovist in itself is like a marketplace for its own self-created brands. We will never have brands which are outside that are formulated by someone else and we put them on Innovist. That's never going to happen. Innovist is always going to be a marketplace for its own created brands. So that is what Innovist is. Bare Anatomy is a hair care brand. The tagline says that hair care deeply rooted in science. So it is scientific hair care. The next brand that we have is Chemist at Play, where we say science made fun. It is an essential ceramides based brand. It's skincare, and every product in the skincare and body care category under Chemist at Play is based on ceramides. Then the third brand that we have is India's first sun care focused brand, where every product is just SPF. So Sunscoop is all about sunscreens and SPFs and different kinds of SPFs that every individual might like. And then we have Nudge Wellness. Nudge Wellness is a beauty supplements brand where we take care of all sorts of vitamins and mineral deficiencies. We give products like supplements, like gummies and hydration enhancers and things like that.
So Sifat, can you tell us, with numerous brands vying for the consumer's attention, in the personal care space, what do you think sets Innovist apart, or what's your differentiation, in this crowded personal care market?
Got it. So as I said at the start also, Innovist is built at the foundation of the customer's requirement. Innovist is one brand which keeps the customer at the center of everything, be it hair care, skin care, sun care, nutritional supplements, whatever the product might be. For us, the customer is at the center. We will not create a product and tell a customer that keep yourself, like just choose whatever's there on the portfolio. We actually build products that the customers require in terms of formulations, in terms of the packaging, in terms of the way the brand looks, the way the brand communicates. Everything is about the customer. So when we go to actually formulate a new product also, our first thought is to speak with customers and understand what is the gap that they are feeling. What is it that their current product is not able to fulfill? What is it that they're expecting out of a brand to launch? And that, I think, keeping the customer at the center of everything is what Innovist is. We innovate for the customer, and that's how we kind of stand apart from all the clutter in the market.
So how does Innovist approach innovation in product development?
So we're one of India's very, very unique startups to have our R&D and manufacturing facility in-house. We started out when I said that we launched in 2019, but we actually started doing all the work in 2018 was because we were setting our facility up. We actually took time to build our foundation with a state-of-the-art R&D lab, actually having a proper manufacturing facility. We did not want to go to we didn't want to go to a contract manufacturer and be like, can you make this product for us? Because we wanted to have that control in our hands, that whatever we are giving to the customer is true to its quality, to the fact that it is a trustworthy solution and it's actually going to work. It is going to be effective. So we made sure that all these main, incentives of having an R&D or a manufacturing facility, everything is in-house.
So, this is a dilemma that many entrepreneurs and D2C brands have faced: make or buy. I have interacted with both the sides, and the logic here is, since you are starting afresh, new, you are an entrepreneur or just a new brand that is just launched on paper and obviously as a company, but you don't have any manufacturing facility. The pragmatic approach should be, I'm not telling you it's right or wrong, but the pragmatic approach should be that you should go for outsourcing the products.
Of course.
But what made you, think that we should, from day one itself, have our own R&D and manufacturing? Because that means you have to source ingredients, get into that supply chain and do all those things.
Of course.
What was the reason, main reason that made you do this?
So this is exactly, Hitesh, that we were trying to fight. This is the solution that we were trying to provide to the people. that there are a lot of these tall claims in the market, right? I mean, I would not name brands, but you pick up brand A, brand B, turn the bottle around, you will see that the manufactured by section is the
Yes.
same. The manufacturer is the same for different products, right? For different brands for that matter. And we were actually trying to solve that issue, that we wanted to clear that noise in the market where there are these brands which are getting products from the same manufacturers, making similar claims. Only thing differentiating between those two products were the packaging and the brand name. And the problem was that this was creating a lack of trust between the customer and the offerings in the market. And that was the gap that we wanted to fill. So our thesis was only this, that we wanted to build a brand that would actually eliminate that lack of trust. And that is why the step of actually launching manufacturing and R&D was the only solution to this problem. We wanted the customers to actually get an effective formulation which was backed by logic, backed by science, because all these contract manufacturers may not have that incentive to invest in an R&D, invest in a proper formulation for a product. They will give brand A formulation A, and they will give brand B formulation B, in which there will be hardly 1% of difference. They will add maybe one or two actives, one or two drops extra. That was the difference. And this was just, creating that, it was making customers also feel that this is just not the right way to go about things, given that they are getting to understand in the market that brand A and brand B are giving different communication, but at the end of the day, the product is the same. It's not solving for their needs. So to fill that gap and to fill that space, it was very important to have that control of R&D and manufacturing in our own hands.
Now that you had this R&D and manufacturing, how did you manage the supply chain? So many ingredients, is something that it's complicated as well. Although you all may not be from the background of manufacturing, but to manage this kind of a supply chain in sourcing ingredients, etc. How did this happen, and how did you, overall manage the whole supply chain?
Got it. So again, it's very interesting. We're three founders, and the profiles of each of us is extremely vertically integrated and complementary. Vimal is a scientist.
Oh,
He comes from an R&D background. He's an R&D scientist himself. So the entire formulation aspect and the manufacturing aspect is something that he brings to the table, and he understands really well. So this entire department is something that's taken care of by him. He brings that expertise to the table. Rohit, on the other hand, is a business guy, he's a finance guy. He understands strategy. He is the business of the company. And I bring in the marketing, branding, creative, customer experience to the table. So we all three have very, very different complementary skills. And when the three of us came together, we were able to build whatever is in front of you today.
now that the name was there, the product was there, R&D was there, manufacturing was there, supply chain was also there. How did you go about marketing, Sifat? Because you were fairly new, and to come to this level, obviously you must have had your sleepless nights, whether this product will work or not, because you have invested so much.
Of course. So it was really interesting. When we were building this brand back in 2019, we started out with Bare Anatomy, as I said. The idea was that the freshness that we got to the personal care industry was accepted very quickly in the market, because we were one of the very, very first brands to actually launch personalization in the hair care industry. So as soon as we launched, I think within the first 2-3 months, we were very lucky to actually get a lot of attention because of the uniqueness of the business. Where, we were printing the name of the customer on the bottle. We were letting the customer choose their fragrance, their color of the product, all of that. Plus, we were also offering efficacy. I think marketing is one thing that, it can just do one bit of things, but the rest of the work your product does for you. And given that we were very confident about the product that we were pushing in the market, the job of marketing just became a little easier. We didn't really have to put in that effort because our products did the work for us.
You started as a D2C brand. It was an online brand, and then you pivoted to offline. Can you just take us through this journey, and what were the reasons behind coming to offline so soon?
Got it. So omni-channel strategy was always on the cards. We always knew that we had to be an offline brand as well, but sooner or later we did not know the timelines. The fact that we saw that we wanted our products to reach a larger audience, it was only important and it was the only sensible step to actually take and reach more people via an offline channel. It was also a lot of, I think, push via COVID. After COVID, the wave and everything, when we were saying online and the demand for the products increased so much, we wanted to make sure that our visibility is a little more in the market. And that's how we decided to walk into offline and explore a few channels and figure out how we can, expand our feet into the offline market. Nika was a very big, I think, support for us, given that we started out with a lot of Nika stores and we started pushing out our products there because they also had an omni-channel presence. We were selling on their platform. It was only easier to get that product, get some visibility in the offline stores also. And yeah, we're still not very active in offline. We are still, forming that entire network. We're still working on establishing a stronger foot in the market.
Plans to open your own stores, Sifat?
Yes, sometime. Not sure about the timeline, but yes, hopefully.
Okay, so next question is for you, Sifat, particularly you in the sense in your domain out of the three partners. How will you ensure that, Innovist as a brand and you have those four brands remain top of the mind, recall brand? Because it's flooded with, all kinds of promises. And we have seen there are products who are genuinely Ayurvedic, genuinely natural, true, real. So, as a consumer, I am confused, and so are many others. How do you, first remain top of the mind, and second, how do you win that trust?
Got it. So there are two things here, Ritesh. I'll break my answer in two parts for you here. When it comes to actually creating that recall in the customer's mind and staying on top of the mind, the only single point agenda I have as a marketing professional is to create customer recall. All I do
Sifat,
is,
we can't hear you. Can you just repeat the answer, please? Yeah,
sure.
we
Can you
can't
hear
hear
me
you.
now?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So the single point agenda as a marketing professional that I have when it comes to actually creating recall in a customer's mind is customer love. I know this thing that if I am able to give a great experience with my product to a customer, there is no reason why they would not come back to me. So all the effort that we make is primarily to create that customer love in the first go. In the first purchase, we make sure that there's a wow factor and the customer has all the reasons to come back to us. That is how recall is something that we work on. On the second hand, when it comes to consideration and getting new customers to actually come and join us or come and try our brand, there are multiple things that we do, right? We do a sampling strategy again because we're so confident about the product that we want our products to speak for us. So sampling is one activity that we give a taste to the customer of with our product and get them to join our brand or become a part of our community. The second strong activity is that there is a lot of word of mouth that spreads our products across people. And we have seen these really interesting stories where there are people who come and tell us, oh, my friend is using this product and I would also want to try. Can you recommend something to me? So we work on these two aspects, one recall, which leads to word of mouth, and second sampling, which helps us gain more audience for our brand.
So currently, can you tell us about the distribution? Where all can we find Innovist products? And in numbers, if you can.
Sure. So, if I talk about the split between online and offline,
Yes.
so that will be say 85 and 15%. That is how we are 85% online, 15% offline. We haven't really gone deep in our offline strategy right now because we're still in the process of forming that. Online, you name the platform and we are available. You will find us on our own website, which is innovist.com. We have our own app, which is again called Innovist. Apart from our own D2C channels, we are available on all marketplaces like Amazon, Myntra, Flipkart, Nykaa. We're available in some quick commerce brands as well, like a Big Basket and Blinkit and stuff like that. So, from an online perspective, we are available in almost every channel possible when it comes to beauty. And offline, we're available in certain chains like in South India, in Bangalore specifically, there's this chain called Health and Glow. So we are available across stores, we're available at Guardian Pharmacy, we're available at brands like Mars, Quality Bazaar. These are a few names to give out.
Okay. Sifat, now let's come to the funding part, funding and the future part.
Mhm.
You have secured a significant amount in pre-series, A funding, etc. How has been your funding journey? If you can share some insights on that part.
So funding is always rocky, of course, and wherever there's money involved, there's a lot of expectation as well. So we have been very cognizant of the amount that we have raised so far. There are very clear-cut agendas when we raise a round. We know very clearly that how do we want to disperse this entire amount that we get. So the previous funding that we raised, our main agenda was to make sure that we're creating more recall and more presence for our brands. Along with that, actually creating a leadership team to go to the next milestone that we have. And as funding is concerned, I think we have some great partners on board. Source DC, Manu Chandra, he's been as good as a co-founder. He's been associated with us since 2019. So he was the first VC we got on board, and he's been with us through thick and thin, and it's just been amazing with him. We have Falguni Nair and Sanjay Nair, the founders of Nykaa. They're also on our cap table. We have some really renowned names like Accel Partners. They've also invested in us. So we have a great mix of partners, and I think they all have their own set of values to add. So it's an interesting journey that way.
Nice. Now let's talk about expansion part and the future part. How do you plan to expand internationally? Or is there still time for you to explore the global markets?
So we are currently available in 5 countries already. We are available on these platforms via different marketplaces that are in these countries, and we are getting some amazing response out of them. And we do have plans to expand internationally, but right now I think our own home is what our focus is. We want to make sure that we have a stronger presence in India and we reach every part of India before actually touching the global waters. Um, it's not like it is on the cards, not as soon as maybe we think of, but yeah, hopefully by next year we should have some more presence internationally, more countries maybe.
Okay. Sifat, are there any specific areas or product segments that you are, looking forward to explore in the near future?
We are primarily going to stick to the personal care industry because I guess we have a very strong hold on this industry, and there are some great innovations that we're making within these brands. As far as other industries are concerned, maybe not. And personal care is what we're planning to stick to for at least some time.
Sure. Sifat, with this, let's move to the last round, and that is the rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and like to hear your answers on the same. The first one: share a memorable aha moment while building Innovist.
An aha moment. I think the day we cracked our first population and we got a very positive review about it because we're a lot into customer trials. So before we launch a product, we do some consumer trials for them and then make sure that the product, is going to go live. So this one formulation that Vimal made, and we pushed it out to our audience to a set of about 50 people. And out of 50, I think 48 of them came back to us saying that when are you launching this product? So that was a moment where we were like, okay, I think we're doing something right. So it was a great experience.
Nice. What's the most exciting city from a business sense you have seen Innovist in?
I think Bombay has been very interesting. So Mumbai, I think.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Sifat.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. Mumbai has been a very interesting city for us.
Yes.
Where I think we have a lot of diverse audience because it's not only across genders but also across age groups. we've seen some really interesting feedback coming in from Mumbai.
Okay. Innovist's ultimate goal in 3 words.
Making sure that clean, transparent science reaches the roots of India.
If Innovist's products had a superpower, what would it be?
Overnight results.
Or
Overnight results. You apply the product today and you have your result tomorrow.
overnight result. Wow. Share the most interesting customer feedback.
So again, this feedback came from one of our customers in Mumbai only.
Sifat, there is still, yeah.
Better?
Yeah, better.
Cool. So this customer wrote to us asking about one of our products because it was out of stock and she wanted to know when it'll be back. Because apparently her dad, his 62-year-old dad, wanted to order that product and he had already finished 3 bottles of it. And he was getting angry at his daughter because she couldn't get more of these for her.
Okay.
So that was a very interesting feedback.
Name a brand which is your closest competitor.
Okay, interesting. So now this competitor can be at an Innovist level and an individual brand level. So in my opinion, at an Innovist level, we don't really have a competitor because there's no one else who's doing what we're doing in India. Individual brands may of course have competitors when it comes to very
Sifat, we have lost you again. Yeah, now.
Okay. So I think at an Innovist level, we don't really have a competitor because we're one of the first brands to be actually creating our own brands and launching into the market. So definitely a gap there, but individual brands would definitely have competitors. So Bare Anatomy, I guess L'Oreal is a good competitor for Bare Anatomy. For Chemist at Play, I think it's a plethora of brands. I think Chemist at Play is a skincare brand and there's all sorts of skincare brands in the market like a Dermaco, Hormones, all of these. Sunscoop again, no brand as such which is homegrown brand which is doing only sunscreen. But in the sunscreen category, of course, there's Neutrogena and there is La Shield and these brands. So yeah.
Second last question, which celebrity would you like to see as a brand ambassador?
For Innovist, very, very complicated question. I think Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay. And lastly, 3 words to describe the team of Innovist.
First would be hungry to build something. Second is agile. And third is extremely energetic.
Okay. Now, this is the final question, which is not a part of rapid fire, but where do you see Innovist 5 years down the line in numbers?
I'm hoping we are at least 50x of what we are today.
Okay. 50x of what you are today. Yeah. You have any number for that?
Future is very, very, I think, uncertain. So I can't really say where we would be in 5 years, but definitely bigger and stronger. Not a number that I can put to it.
Sure,
I think
sure.
it'll be short selling or hot selling ourselves. So I would not throw a number.
Sure, sure. That's fine, Sifat. 50x 5 years down the line. Thank you very much for sharing all your insights and the story of Innovist with us. We wish you all the very best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very happy to be here. Thanks again.